for the firmament. What? Because what? Now you can get on your phone and get the Bible. All right, you can watch videos, get the breakdowns. All right, the books are literally open before the firmament. You can get to the scriptures at any time of the day and get the breakdowns any time of the day.
Hey, I was gonna say, if you go back to that Habakkuk and read the book from verse 2, it says, how does it say? It says, make it so you can
make it rain upon tables.
Yeah,
Yep.
come.
Hey, remember 15?
Yeah, so I just switched.
Okay, good. Yep. So, hey, this is what's taking place, man. The scriptures is literally happening. You know, as we speak, like what you're reading is what's happening in these last days, man.
Real time. You know,
Real
you're like,
time.
oh, this in real time. You know, you're watching something live. Well, hey, the scriptures right now are in real time.
Caught up.
You know, it ain't
It ain't prophecy no more.
Yeah, exactly. It's real time. You know,
It's
and that-
reality.
Exactly, and that's showing life,
Yep.
living waters. The scripture is living waters. You know, the world is just now catching up to the scriptures. The scriptures ain't catching up to the world. The world is catching up to the scriptures.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it is.
Yep.
You know.
Because again, going back to that timeline, the end was declared from the beginning. You know, so all of this down to how you brush your teeth this morning was already written. You know, and like the brother said, now it's catching up to the prophecy, so to say, because these prophecies were written before Yahushua was on the scene. You know, so all of this, it was just, hey, that's why the elect are gonna have the greatest patience, man. All right, because what we've been patiently waiting on this through all our generations, man. That's why Revelation 13 says this is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right, because that's a key thing we're waiting for, man. See our enemies go down, put them in captivity. All right, that's just part of it, man. And that's a prophecy that's taking place. Because as Esau goes down, we coming up. All right, beginning with the elect, of course, because the 2/3 is gonna perish with them.
I got a quick.
Was that on there?
You got something? Yeah, real quick. This is Isaiah 42 in verse 9. Isaiah 42 and 9. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare.
Yeah, the former things that come to pass. All right, these things have come to pass, and then the new things that the Lord is bringing that you ain't never seen, such as Jacob's trouble. The Lord, read that again.
Gone. Isaiah 42 and 9. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them.
That's right. So, hey, the Lord told us about all these things before even the year 2000, man. Before 1900s, before 1800. This book was written 2,000 years ago, or compiled together 2,000 years ago. But some of these, like the books of Moses, that goes back 5,000 years.
So
You know?
Moses the end in the beginning.
Yep.
You know?
That's what, again, the Lord said, declaring the end from the beginning, you know?
In that second Ezra 6, they say when Jacob and Esau was born, but then you go to Romans and say before they was even born, not yet even being born.
That was prophecy.
That was prophecy.
Before they was even born. So this was before Jacob and Esau was even born. That was in what, Genesis 25?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So
First book.
the end of the world, you know, when you go to second Ezra 6, the end of the world was already prophesied in the book of Genesis.
Which that was written around the time of the Babylonian Empire. So we're talking, what, 2,500 years ago. Because Ezra is Ezra in the Old Testament. Because the Apocrypha is really part of the Old Testament. You know, like if you get a Bible, a Spanish Bible from, I think it's 1569. It's older than the King James version. 1569. It's called Escrituras Sagradas or something like that. The Apocrypha is in there, in order. You know how it's really supposed to be. But you ain't gonna get the King JV has it, but they separate it. But
I think
the Spanish
like
Bible,
$200.
yeah, 200 plus, yeah, that Spanish
like
one.
that.
Yeah, the one where it got the books in order, it's like
exactly.
200 plus.
And then the way you know that's how it's supposed to be in the Spanish Bible. It doesn't say first or second Ezra. It says the third book of Ezra and the fourth book of Ezra. You know, so that's how you know that they were. So that's gonna show you know, it wasn't Esau. I think it was Jake that actually did that. What's his name? Man, he was an emperor. Constantine. Yeah. They during that, you know, that's when they did all that. But that was it on that out?
Yeah.
And a
Okay.
quick precept.
Work it out.
This is Daniel, chapter 8, verse 19. And he said, Behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation, for at the time appointed the end shall be.
So the Lord gonna let us know how the end was gonna go down. And then when that time comes, that's how it's gonna be. Exactly what the Lord said, that's how it's gonna go down. You know, like the script said, the Lord is not a man that he shall lie. So if he said this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, and America's gonna be destroyed, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Okay? you know, like we were saying earlier, we don't know the exact details,
Yeah.
but we know. Look, the Lord said He's gonna destroy America, okay, with nuclear missiles in 1 hour. All right, we don't know exactly where the missile's gonna hit, but we know that's how America's going out of here, man. All right, and we believe it. You know, that was it on that.
This Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are
Where
with
you at?
thee.
Where you at?
Job 14 and 5.
Okay, okay.
This Job 14 and 5 says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee.
Yes, whose days are determined? Esau. All right, Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. His days are determined. All right, his days are running out. Now it's time for the Israelites to rule, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And you see it's happening. All right, ain't nobody respect Esau no more, man. That's why they got a sedition. All right, which sedition meaning uprising against the government. Who's ruling the earth? Not just here in America. This is taking place everywhere, man. And guess who's running the earth? Esau, Edom, the wicked.
Right? Going back to Job.
Oh, and that's why the let's see me back. Is that in that chapter? Okay, no. No, I was gonna see if it was in there. I'm gonna post some where it says the Lord set the bounds that He cannot pass.
That's it right here.
Okay, that's
Okay.
it. Okay, come. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is Job 14 and 5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
That's right. So the Lord has said an exact second where this man can't pass that no more. His rulership is gonna end, and it's ending as we speak. All right, it's crumbling before his very eyes, man, and he can't do nothing about it. You know, that's why he's trying to Space Force and all that. But the Lord put that in his, he don't even know that the Lord put that in his mind to fight against him when he returns. To no effect, you know, because he ain't gonna not shoot, not even one chariot is gonna fall out of the sky, man. It's gonna be a landslide victory. And these are the days we're approaching. We're getting to that bound that the Lord set up for this devil, man. All right? And really it began back in 1492. All right, when this devil, which they celebrate every damn year, called Christopher Columbus Day. When he came over here, that's when the Roman Empire or the beast was revived, so to say. That was it. Okay, you had something? Out?
Yeah, Amos chapter 9.
Speak up a little bit. Yeah.
Amos chapter 9, verse 4 and 5, it says, and though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it shall slay them, and I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good. Verse 5, and the Lord Yahweh of hosts, He is that toucheth the land, and it shall melt.
Yeah. So that real quick, that goes back to Jake. That
Yeah.
happened to Jake during the Babylonian Empire. But now that applies to Esau, man. Right? Because since he wanted to take on the book, right? He wanted to say, oh, look, we the people of the Lord. You know, God, we're a God-fearing nation, swearing the presidents on the scriptures and all this. Look, now you got to be judged according to the scriptures because you claim to be down with the scriptures. So now you got to be judged according to the scriptures, you know?
Yeah, because that's where Deuteronomy 30 and 7 comes in, you know, because that's a curse. The Lord cursed our people with that. So now going to Deuteronomy 30 and 7, that's going to happen to Esau, Edom, so white
That's
man.
right. And I forgot what book it is. It says turning of things upside down.
I got you.
Things have been turned upside down. Now the Lord's coming to flip it back upright, you know? Yeah, get that real quick. Go ahead and finish that off.
Verse 5, and the Lord Yahweh of hosts is He that toucheth the land, and it shall melt, and all that dwell therein shall mourn, and it shall rise up wholly like a flood, and shall be drowned as by the flood of Egypt.
Yeah, there you go. So now this time it's going to be with fire, though. All right? This time the Lord is going to bring fire to the modern Egypt, all right, which is America. All right? Whether you believe it or not, if you don't believe it, you're just going to die with America, right? Simple as that. You got it?
No, I was looking for it.
Okay. You know,
I got something.
Go ahead, bring it up.
All right, this is you know, because I was holding this from earlier when you spoke about the deliverance.
Okay, go ahead.
Jeremiah 16:13. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not.
And that's where we at today. To this day. All right? Still in the hands of our oppressor. But our people want to be equal with the person that put you into slavery. Are you crazy? The man that put you in chains is not going to let you be equal to him. The only way you just got to overthrow the man, which that ain't going to happen but through the Lord. You know, that's why all these protests and autonomous areas, all right, out there, that ain't going to do nothing, man. They just going to send the troops in there and all you niggas going to die. All right?
if I can say this real quick too, to speak on those autonomous areas, that ain't, we know those same tactics that happen over in the Middle East. All right, you got a group of people taking over a certain part of Seattle or neighborhood, whatever region, whatever.
3 blocks.
3 blocks. All right, cool. Well, that's the same tactics that America do over there in the
Iraq,
Middle East.
yep.
They put ISIS there, and then they say, oh, well, you got ISIS over there in this region. We're going to go over there and take it out. So then, bam, they go over there and take it out. But the whole plan was to just set military presence within there. That was just that giveaway. So when they send military troops into Seattle, now they're going to be able to, is that justified in having military presence there in this, like in Syria. They said we can't leave because the troops, the ISIS will be able to come back and get this region again. So we're going to have to stay here. So that's how it's going to be in that section.
Order
So
application.
they're going to give a reason for the troops to be able to maintain a base right there in Seattle. That's all that's doing, man. These are the same tactics that Esau does over and over again. He's just now doing it on the U.S. mainland.
Pretty much because this is an old sign. You see, this is from the magazine. It says police state, America's new way of life. Well, now this is more relevant than ever. All right, this is the new way of life. It's going to be not a police state, a military state. All right, where martial law is not going to consist of police, those simpletons. That's why they're doing all this, to show you that the police are incompetent and they can't. What is that? Defunding them. Because what they look, how the hell? That's like people come down here and take over 3 blocks. Set up the barricades. How the hell does that happen, man? And in that area, the autonomous area, is a police precinct. So they let them take that, man. Just like they let them burn down that shit in Minneapolis, right? This is all an agenda, and it's working, ultimately, because this is the Lord's will at the end of the day. And like the brother said, what they're gonna do is gonna send them the troops. It's a ends to the means, or means to the end, something like that. How it go? Problem, reaction, solution. Trump talking about selling he said, look, if the government or the governor and the mayor can't do it, I'm gonna do it for them. Right? If your Coast Guard can't do it, I'm gonna say, because they just had the graduation for West Point, with the Army, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Look, those are the guys that are gonna come in there and bash heads, all right? And then ultimately the UN troops, the blue helmets, niggas from Somalia, all right, from the middle, people from all over the world that completely hate America, those are gonna be the people policing your streets, all right?
Back in Jeremiah 16:13, therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers, and there shall ye serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor. Therefore,
we're not. The Lord ain't showing us favor here. For 500 years, we've been trodden down in the street. We've been abused, reused, neglected, beaten, all the adjectives you can think of. But what? Now the Lord is starting to show favor unto his elect, all right, his remnant, that he's going to deliver out of this place. Because Jake is catching hell, man. But brothers is doing good. Brothers got day-to-day situation, catch hell here and there. But for the most part, compared to these people, we living good, Brothers, we living good, man. Jake worrying about how he going to pay his rent this month. We sitting back waiting on the next prophecy,
that's the benefit of serving the Lord. And real quick, it slipped my mind, came back. And amongst that whole Seattle thing, we believe it's staged, of course, but it may be sincere people with them.
Because that's what it is. They'll set up the leaders, and then, like we said earlier, it's just people just follow, man. That's what they teach you since you go to school, to follow single file lines. Do what it is, do that. They're just teaching you how to be a follower. They don't show you critical thinking. They don't show you how to lead. They don't show you how to be improve yourself as a person and improve your situation. No, they just teach you how to follow orders, man. And that's why when a nigga cracks a window, everybody cracks windows with him. Because they've been raised to just follow people, man. That's how trends work. Nigga puts on some boots. Now next week, everybody wearing boots, And especially Jake. Jake, like we said earlier, Jake's that sheep, And they're lost sheep. That's why the Lord say, I have not come to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Jake is lost as hell, man. Don't know what the hell is going on. Even if they doing good compared to this society, in this society standards, they still lost as hell. They don't know what the hell's going on. Right?
Right, verse 14 says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
And that was a great moment All right, that was a historic moment where everybody knew about.
Many movies made
Yeah,
by it
movies,
today.
it's children's stories. Everybody knows the story. They don't even have to know the Bible, believe in the Bible. You talk about Moses and Exodus, you know, they might not know it was Israelites, but you mention Moses and the Exodus, Egypt, they're gonna know what you're talking about. So it ain't gonna be no more mentioned there how the Lord saved the Israelites out of Egypt. All right, and that's how you know that we got to come back together, because what, the 12 tribes was in Egypt and he delivered all of them, but now the 12 tribes coming back and he gonna deliver the remnant, you know, the elect.
If I can say real quick, just speaking on how you were just saying it's going to be that much more greater. The scriptures say that right now you got the whole world rising up and protesting about the oppression on Jake right now. So the whole world's focus is on that, right? That we were just talking about an Egypt scenario, but now the whole world has got their eyes on Jake, man. So when the whole world see Jake get delivered, you know, it's already going to be on their minds. They're like, damn, they was oppressing them. Damn, this place was that, you know, it was not just in one centralized area. The whole world is watching this right now. You got Jake rising up around the whole earth right now, man.
And what it is the plagues from ancient Egypt. What happened when Moses and Aaron first went up